Hey everybody, it's Jason. This is Comedy on Vinyl. We speak with Katie Levine this week. She produces all of the Nerdist podcasts. You hear her voice at the beginning of a lot of the episodes of the actual Nerdist podcast itself, but she also produces all of their network's podcasts. And she wanted to sit down and talk about Jerry Seinfeld's I'm Telling You for the Last Time, which I had not heard in years, and I was glad to re-listen to it because it's just such a great album. I'm one of those people who's sort of 50-50 on Jerry Seinfeld. He's obviously a great comedian, but it sort of depends on what comedy we're talking about. I like his stand-up way more than I do the show. But she's a really big fan of Seinfeld, and it was great listening to her talk about it and talk about her experience with her family and comedy. It is amazing. I also wanted to make sure that you listen to her podcast, which is called Save It for Air. So find that on iTunes. It's really easy to find. Also, we have a new podcast at Stolen Dress Entertainment. It is Vice Presidents being number 2 in the White House. I've been studying the vice presidency for about 6 years, and my buddy Matt and I have been trying to make a documentary about it for just that long, and we decided to do a podcast about it and talk about it now that the big election's coming up. So listen to that first episode. You can find that on stolendress.com, but you can also find it at vicepresidents.com and, of course, on iTunes. So listen to that. Rate it highly. Comments are good. Do that for this podcast as well, and for Katie's podcast, obviously. Listen to Katie's podcast, Save It for Air. It's actually really funny and really good. I listened to a recent episode about music where they play some music I'd never heard of before, and really, really wonderful stuff. So, yeah, please enjoy this episode, and that is it? ? Yeah, that's it.
I like these somewhat high-risk things, the scuba, I've gone hang gliding, I've gone skydiving. I like a little bit of risk. I don't know, maybe that's why I do this. I saw a study that said speaking in front of a crowd is considered the number 1 fear of the average person. I found that amazing. Number 2 was death. Death is number 2? This means to the average person, if you have to be at a funeral, you would rather be in the casket than doing the eulogy. Skydiving was definitely the scariest thing I've ever done. Let me ask you this question in regards to the skydiving. What is the point of the helmet in the skydiving? I mean, can you kind of make it? You jump out of that plane, that chute doesn't open. The helmet is now wearing you for protection. Later on, the helmet's talking with the other helmets, going, it's a good thing he was there, or I would have hit the ground directly. You never jump out of a plane unless you got a human being strapped underneath you. That's basic safety.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Comedy on Vinyl. This week, with me, I have Katie Levine.
Yeah.
And we're talking about Jerry Seinfeld's I'm Telling You for the Last Time, right?
Yes.
That is the name of it.
Yes, it is.
All right. So let's talk about who you are really quick.
Okay.
You produce like every Nerdist podcast, basically.
Yeah. I'm the network producer, and then I produce an engineer. I produce all the podcasts individually, and then I engineer the majority of them.
Okay. That's awesome. Yeah. That's a lot of work, though.
It is, but it's fun. Yeah. I like it. Okay. It's not too much work yet.
Yeah. Okay.
I haven't gotten overloaded.
Right.
Yet.
Okay. That's
not
good.
Going.
So even though you're not, technically a professional comedian, you still are behind the scenes of a lot of comedy. You've been working in comedy for a long time, really. Right?
Yeah, I've been working in comedy now almost 4 years because I worked for Corolla before I worked for Chris. And, so I love comedy. I've been like the biggest fan of comedy my entire life. And so I always kind of like knew, I don't know, I always wanted to work in comedy, so yeah, it's fun.
What about this album is why'd you pick this one? Why'd you want to talk about it?
Well, I gotta say, I had a lot of trouble when you said I had to choose one. Because I have a lot of trouble choosing, like, one favorite thing of anything. Like, movies.
It's impossible.
Well, music, though. That's the only one called Beastie Boys is my favorite of all time. Anything, yeah.
Nice.
But even that, there's, like, close second, third, fourth. But I chose this because I think Jerry Seinfeld, like, that's my sense of humor. That's my style of humor. That's what I really like. And like when I, just crack jokes for fun, that's the style I go for. Like I really like observational humor. And I grew up, the blinds are, there's like a ghost in here, I think. Mm-hmm. There's probably a ghost. I grew up watching Seinfeld. That's what I watched. Like, as a kid, I didn't watch many kid TV shows. I just watched whatever my dad was watching. Okay. And so that was, like, Seinfeld. Sure. And, like, Saturday Night Live. Mm-hmm. And so, the first time I like, heard the album and then saw the DVD, mm-hmm. I was just like, I recognized a lot of the bits from the show. Sure. But I was just like, oh, this is the best. Mm-hmm. Like, this is great. And I just was, like, cracking up for hours. Yeah. And, yeah, I don't know. I just chose it because I guess that's the one that I think, for me, it was just, like, I always like listen to it, re-listen to it and everything. Yeah. I'd actually forgotten how good this album was. So obviously I had to re-listen to it today, and I don't know. I think maybe the Halloween, just the Halloween bit is probably my favorite. Oh God, I love that bit. The whole like, wait, everyone's gonna give us candy? What do we have to do for that? Yeah, I'll wear that. Like, that's just great. And then the whole like talking about the costume when you were a kid, because I remember just being a kid and walking down the street, mm-hmm. and it's just, like, my costume falling apart. Mm-hmm. Like, I remember I must have been, like, 7, and I was, like, dressed up as a baby. Mm-hmm. So I had, like, a big diaper and everything. And I remember it just, like, falling off the whole night and, like, really, like, yelling at your friends. And, like, and then he goes into that wait up bit. Like, that's I love that bit. The wait ups! Mm-hmm. You know? Like, that whole thing and how everything's up when you're a kid. And then parents are always like, calm down, slow down. Right. Yeah, that bit's so great. Because I also, like, I eat, like, really healthy and everything, but I have a candy problem. Like, if someone puts Skittles in front of me, like, I'm not going to eat all of them. I have the same issue, yeah. Do you remember the first time you heard or saw Seinfeld? I was actually trying to think of, like, the very first time, and I was so young, mm-hmm. I can't remember it. Okay. Because what year did it come out? Like the show. The first, oh my god. Because that's the first time I saw it. See, this is what we always get accused of, not enough research. Yeah, because I was just, my dad, like, I remember my dad being like, oh, you should watch this, because he always talked about seeing, he said the first time he saw Seinfeld on Carson, he was just like, whoa, what is this? Yeah. Like, because it's like what he always says, it's comedy about nothing. Sure. It's just comedy about all these little things that we all have to deal with every single day. Mm-hmm. And it's just like this really kind of interesting but obvious, perspective on it that you're just like, I never thought about it in that way. Right, but I feel like I should have. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I was, like, so little watching Seinfeld. Like, I just would always watch it with my dad. And then I remember I got in trouble once for something as a mm-hmm. kid, and my parents were like, you can't come out of your room for, like, a week or some shit like that. Oh, can I swear? Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah. And so I was, I stole a little TV that we had in the garage, and it was, like, this tiny little, like, I mean, seriously, like, 4-inch screen, and had the rabbit ears. Yeah. And so all I could get was, like, you know, the basic cable channels, and I would just watch Seinfeld. Awesome. Like, that was it. Mm-hmm. And I kept that TV in my room for months, just watching Seinfeld on it, because it was always on, and that's just what mm-hmm. I watched. I feel like a lot of people have, and that actually gets to the point of something I usually get to later, because I usually have to force people to talk about it, but, like, either having, like, really personal moments with comedy or making friends over comedy. Like, obviously you had a thing, like, I know I would escape a lot through TV and stuff, so, or comedy albums eventually, but did you ever make any friends over comedy? Not until recently, I guess. I was always really into it, but I didn't, like, know it was, like, something, like, I didn't know until later it was, like, something you could go do, or, like, I knew I didn't want to be a comedian. When I was, like, 10 or 11 or 12, around there, I became obsessed with Saturday Night Live, and it was, like, the Phil Hartman days, and then, like, also, like, like, you know, like, Adam Sandler, like, Chris Kattan, Will Ferrell, like, around that era, like, it was, like, those, like, 5 years or whatever that time was. Phil Hartman, I guess, was a little earlier. I remember watching that, though, with my dad, because I remember when he died. Yeah. But I remember watching that going, I want to produce that. Yeah. And I don't even think I knew what a producer did. Right. But I knew I didn't want to, like, be on TV. Mm-hmm. I just was like, I want to make that happen. That's awesome. All I know. I just wanted to do that. And, then I started, like, making movies on my own and stuff. But, I don't know if I ever, like, because, like, in high school, I remember my friends weren't really into comedy. Like, I would watch Saturday Night Live. Yeah. Like, I would tape it on VHS because I was like never home, and have my dad tape it, and I would watch it later. And I remember like reenacting, especially the. Do you remember Mr. Peepers?
Yes.
Yeah. We used to do that. I used to do that all the time, where I would like, and my friends thought it was hilarious. Where I would like eat an apple, and, like be spitting it at them and stuff, and like we would just do that all day. And like we would make little funny videos and stuff for ourselves, but. I guess, I don't know. I mean, I have now I've definitely made friends because of comedy. Like, one of my best friends, Logan, I worked with him over at Corolla, and, like, we became friends from there because, like, one day I had an extra ticket to go see Aziz at, like, the Largo. Okay. And he was like, oh, do you want to go? And he was like, yeah, I love going to comedy shows. I never have anyone to go with. I was like, me neither. And then we just, like, started going to shows together all the time.
That's awesome.
Because I always wanted to go, and I didn't really have anyone to go with.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it can also be hard depending on... people don't... Even like me, honestly, until I started listening to podcasts more a couple years ago, I really wasn't thinking about stand-up as a thing as much. I know it exists, but like the more I listen to guys like Chris Hardwick or, you know, even guys on Jordan Jesse Go talk about stand-up and stand-ups, I'm more aware of it now. And, I mean, it is kind of hard to find somebody who's into the same things as you are comedically.
Especially someone that doesn't want to be that.
Yeah,
You know, someone that doesn't want to be a comedian.
Yeah.
And then people will ask me sometimes, like, why are you so into it if you don't want to do it? And I was like, because it's awesome.
Right.
It's entertaining, it's fun. Like, why would you not want to be involved with something that makes you laugh all the time?
Exactly.
Like, that's the best. And, yeah.
So for you, is it more of, I know I don't want to be the person doing that, but I know I definitely have to be a person making it on some level, like I have to help put that together?
Yeah, I just want to get, I just want to find funny people and get them heard.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I want to help other people hear them and other people discover them and get their jokes out there and everything.
Sure.
Like, and that's, I mean, I'm doing that essentially with podcasting.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not per se jokes, but it's super funny people having conversations that are very entertaining and hilarious.
Right.
And people all over the world are hearing it.
Right.
Which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
That, like, people in Israel are listening to shows that I work on.
Yeah.
Like, what? That's
insane.
Ridiculous. I can't believe that.
How many of the podcasts do you actually sit in on? Like,
most of them. I mean, I sit on You Made It Weird with Pete. Indoor Kids, Sex and Sandra, Todd Glass Show, some of the Nerdists, not all of them. Like the Hostfuls, I'm there.
Okay.
And then like the Writers Panel, the Mutant Season, which is with the 9-year-old Gil.
Yes.
Who
awesome.
Is the best. And now he's asking everybody if they keep it crispy because Pete does that.
No.
It's so great. It's amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I know there's more.
Sure.
Like Marilyn Rice Cope has one coming out.
Oh, awesome.
I honestly, I don't even know. I know there's more.
That's fine. Is there, are there other stand-ups? I mean, were most of your early comedy influences from your parents? Did your parents introduce
My
you
dad.
to your dad? Okay,
My dad,
your dad specifically introduced you to stuff?
I remember watching Groundhog Day with him when I was little. I remember him being like, "Oh, you need to watch these movies." I specifically remember Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah.
Him being like, "You need to watch this.
Awesome.
You're gonna love this." And him, one time we used to go swimming at the Y at the YMCA, and someone shit in the pool, and he goes and tells me about Caddyshack.
Oh no!
And he tells me about the scene and everything, and he's cracking up telling me about it, and then makes me watch the movie.
Yeah.
And so I remember watching Groundhog Day, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Just all of those, Blazing Saddles, all,
That's so awesome.
all that stuff with him. And then Saturday Night Live is because of him.
What is the story on the sinks in airport bathrooms that they will not give us a twisted on, twisted off human style faucet? Is that too risky for the general population? Too dangerous? We better install the one-handed, spring-loaded, pain-in-the-ass Alcatraz style faucets. You know those ones where you got to go, "Hey, boy, I got a little water there. Oh, another couple drops." What is it that they think we would do with a faucet? Turn them all on full, run out into the parking lot, laughing, pushing each other into the bushes? Come on, the water's on, let's go! I turned it on full blast. You idiot, we're businessmen. We're going to miss our plane. Who cares? Water! That's how they think we'll behave.
Yeah, I don't know.
He just likes laughing, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's a dumb thing to ask. Everybody likes to laugh, but there are some people don't have parents who introduce them to stuff that this is really going to make you laugh your ass off. But I hear that more and more on this podcast, that people's parents are getting them into that stuff.
Yeah, he likes comedies. Like, he and I, like, one day in high school, it might have been I was, like, home during college, maybe. Mm-hmm. I'm really bad with time perception, so, like, I'll say dates, and I'm just like, oh, that was, like, 10 years ago when I thought it was 2.
Right.
But I came home and he was like cracking up in his office, and I walked in and I was like, "What are you watching?" And he was like, "This movie called Grandma's Boy." And I was just like, "I love that movie. Like, that's great." And we sat there and watched it.
That is surprisingly funny, that movie.
That movie's hilarious.
I didn't want to like it at all.
I loved it.
But it's, it's too good.
But yeah, so he, growing up, he would always be watching shows like Seinfeld and Mad TV and Saturday Night Live, and we used to watch Perfect Strangers.
Yes, absolutely.
I loved all the TGIF shows, all that stuff. I'm trying to think what else we would watch, and then, but yeah, movies. A lot of Steve Martin movies. I remember watching those with him. I would actually try to remember the first time I heard like Wild and Crazy Guy, but I can't. I know I was really young.
Yeah.
And I know it was like one of those things I like heard over and over again, but I can't remember exactly.
So you guys watched a lot of TV and stuff and movies together. Do you know the first comedy album you listened to? Or did you listen to a lot of comedy albums at all growing up?
I listened to some, because I think he had some. I can't remember the first one. I don't think I really got into it until high school, and that was like, I remember, hearing like Steve Martin, George Carlin, and those type of, and like Richard Pryor and stuff in high school. And then in high school, I actually wrote this down because I was like, I have to bring this up. I became I got really into all of the Adam Sandler albums. Okay. Which are comedy albums. Yeah. They're not stand-up.
Sure.
But I got so into those, and I went back and re-listened to them when I knew what was going on here. I just, like, they're all going to laugh at you, and What the Hell Happened to Me, like, those albums, like...
Brilliant,
we used to go around and just go, no, they're all going to laugh at you. And then I would always, like, there's this one track on, I think it's on... What the Hell Happened to Me, and it's the goat. And like every time like something had happened that I didn't like, I'd be like, "Oh, fuck me in the goat ass," and like no one ever understood it. No one knew what I was talking about. Yeah. But yeah, I really liked those. And then I'm trying to think what else I liked in high school.
My best friend Dan used to say that all the time.
Fuck me in the goat ass.
All the time. Yeah.
All the
time.
It's
a big one.
And then like I loved like I had like the best of. Well, I had a lot of like the best of Saturday Night Live VHSs. So it had like Adam Sandler, Farley. Oh, in a van down by the river. I used to say that. Like I would just yell that all the time. I don't know. Oh, there was one. I remember being in New York because my family's from New York, so we went out there all the time. And I remember like one summer we were out there. And we went to this stupid, like fancy restaurant with my grandma that she wanted to go to, and there's this dancer dude there that was Mango from Saturday Night Live, and my dad and I were just like, we couldn't believe it, and we still talk about that. We're like, remember we went to that restaurant and that Mango guy was there? We still talk about that all the time.
It's so funny. I mean, it's nice to have cultural references like that, I think, for in your real life, especially in a situation you don't want to deal with. Yeah. Do you know what the first live comedy was? Or can you remember the first live comedy?
I do not.
No?
No. I don't think it started going until, like, high school and college. Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I didn't really know it was, like, a thing you could go to, especially in San Francisco. And this was before the internet, really. Right. I mean, this was, like, the internet really kind of came out when I was in high school. And... like most of my friends didn't have. My dad has his own business, so at his office he had the internet. I remember, and then I think we got it at home because I remember having AIM. Okay, because we would instant message. But it was like before I really knew how to access any of it.
Yeah.
And like I remember like looking at comedy albums at Amoeba because I spent a good portion of my teenage years at Amoeba Records on Haight Street, and I remember. That's, like, where I bought all like the Adam Sandler ones. I bought like Wild and Crazy Guy. Like, fuck, what else did I buy? Seinfeld.
Of course.
Let's Get Small, like all those.
Yes.
I bought those there. I can't remember which one I bought first. Like, it just because like I would go there and I'd buy like so many CDs at once, and I'd go back and sell them, and I'd go buy more.
Yeah.
But the first live show I went to,
it's hard to remember.
I bet my dad would remember because I think I went. I probably went with him.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I should have asked him what we went to.
That's so cool, though. I mean, to be able to do that with your family, because I mean, I don't where I'm from, which is upstate New York. There's nothing, absolutely
Where
nothing.
In upstate New York?
Oneonta is the biggest near. Nobody does. If you live in the city your whole life, you probably knew a couple friends who went there, who went to Oneonta for college. But that's about it. Yeah, there's nothing where I'm from.
Yeah,
so wouldn't have had the opportunity. I think my first live comedy shows were out here in LA. I think
Patton might have been the first person I saw.
That's
now that
amazing.
I'm thinking about it,
That's
actually.
amazing.
I'm like trying. Yeah, for some reason I remember seeing Patton.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I didn't know it was there in San Francisco. Like, I was so close. I could have gone.
Sure,
and
I just seen a lot.
Yeah,
of people
and I didn't really know. Like, I'm kind of pissed because now it's like I hear back and it's like all these people live there.
Yeah,
and they like could have gone to the Purple Onion all the time.
Right,
like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I was also like, I was really into the music scene. Like, I went to concerts every weekend. That was all I did. But yeah, I'm kind of pissed that I didn't know about it.
I bet.
Looking back.
Do you get to go see as many now? I mean, that you're so busy.
I go to the shows like every night, pretty much. Yeah, just because like now I just hang out with a lot of comics, and that's just like that's one reason I really like comedy is that I get bored really easily sitting at home. I live alone. I get lonely. I'm like, I don't want to be here. I want to go do something.
Sure.
And so I'll go hang out because it's such a social industry, and that's all I want is like to socialize. And it's fun and it's funny and you get to see new stuff and you get to see cool people, and that's how I've gotten a lot of like work and like met a lot of people and picked up podcasts and
that's so cool.
with people is by going to shows and meeting people and just like becoming friends with them and then being like, oh, you should do a show and you should do this. And so it's almost work in a way.
Sure, but
because it's a lot of networking.
That's insanely cool, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a hell of a world to get involved with. Just all these people. I mean, it's interesting to me though that somebody who we all have our own reasons for getting into comedy, and I think a lot of performers is not the single thing, but a definite recurring theme is insecurity. Because we want to get out in front of everybody and prove ourselves. But, I mean, you want to help people prove themselves. You want to help people, like, try and elevate people. I mean, do you know what it is inside you that's made you want to produce comedy?
I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah.
But I don't ever want to get up on stage.
Yeah.
You know?
Of course, yeah. No, I get that. Because I don't want to do stand-up. I want to do some kinds of comedy, but I don't want to do stand-up myself.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I write jokes just for fun because I think of them and I write them down.
Sure.
And, I've had, like, friends read them that are like, oh, they're funny. Yeah. But I'm like, I don't want to do them.
Yeah.
I'm not into that. That's definitely, I know for a fact that's not what I want to do ever.
Yeah.
I don't really know. That's what interests me and that's what I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm like, oh, this would be cool to do. And this I would be, like, into and, or this I am into.
Right.
And I'm good at it.
Yeah.
And I really like it.
Yeah.
And it's not boring, it's not monotonous, it's different every day, and it's just, you're constantly meeting cool people and, like, seeing and hearing new things.
What was it like the first time you heard this album, this Jerry Seinfeld album? Do you remember?
Oh, yeah. I was cracking up.
Yeah.
I heard the album first, I bought it on Amoeba.
Yeah.
And then my friend had the DVD.
Okay.
And we watched that. I watched that, like, a few years later, though. I just thought it was, like, the best. Like, I had heard a lot of the bits, because a lot of them, are at the beginning of Seinfeld episodes. Like, I think, like, the cow bit is, and, a lot of, but, it's just, I love observational comedy.
Yeah.
Because, like, my biggest pet peeve in the world is people that are not observant. Like, I don't understand these people. I can't figure them out. Like, and so, the first time I heard it, it's just being like, oh my god, I never really thought about the supermarket in that way, you know? Being like, oh yeah, you really watch people in the supermarket. They are just walking around like, where am I? What aisle is this? How did I get here? Right. And like, I remember being sick in high school and like going to like, I just had, like, a really bad, like, cold or something going and, like, trying to buy cold medicine. And I'm just like, I don't know what any of this fucking means. Like, what does this mean? And I, like, thought of his bit. Yeah. And that's just, like, I just remember being, like, so stoked because I got to see some of his stand-up, you know, at the beginning and ends and in the middle or whatever of Seinfeld episodes.
Sure.
But then to get, you know, whatever it is, like 90 minutes to 2 hours full, I was just like, oh, this is awesome. Yeah. This is like nonstop.
When you're a kid, your brain can't even process the information. You're like, what is this? What did you say? So what did you say about giving out candy? Who was giving out candy? Everyone that we know is just giving out candy? Are you kidding me? When is this happening? Where? Why? Take me with you. I gotta be a part of this. I'll do anything that they want. I can wear that. I'll wear anything I have to wear. I'll do anything I have to do to get the candy from those fools that are so stupidly giving it away. So the first couple of years, I made my own costumes, which of course sucked. The ghost, the hobo, no good. Then finally, third year, begging the parents, got the Superman Halloween costume, not surprisingly. Cardboard box, cellophane top, mask included. Remember the rubber band on the back of that mask? That was a quality item there, wasn't it? That was good for about 10 seconds before it snapped out of that cheap little staple they put it in there with. You go to your first house, trick or snap, it broke. I don't believe it.
Do you like, I mean, do you prefer listening and watching his stand-up to the show, to the sitcom, or no?
I think they're both pretty equal.
Yeah?
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have cable right now.
Uh-huh.
Because I moved, and I got my own place, and it's very expensive. And then I was like, oh, well, if I'm home and I want it, I'll get it, and then I'm never home.
Right.
Ever. But I, like, own, I don't own all the seasons. I own, like, sporadic, like, different. I own, like, 1, 3, 5, I don't know, random ones.
All the unnumbered ones.
And I'll just, like, rewatch, like, I'll just, like, put in, you know, a DVD once in a while and just, like, have it on.
Yeah.
And, because, like, when I did have cable, I would just put on Seinfeld every time it was on.
Right.
That and, I Love Lucy. That's another with, like, huge... It's not stand-up at all, but that was a huge comedy influence on me.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid, I was obsessed with I Love Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would watch that every day.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just, like, my favorite thing in the world.
No, I love watching classic TV. They don't show enough of my favorites anymore, but you have to be at home during the day to watch it. Anyway.
Seinfeld and I Love Lucy are on during the day quite a bit. And I remember one time I set my DVR to record every Seinfeld that was on, which was the biggest mistake because it just filled up in like 2 days.
Yeah, no, I bet. Do you, let me see. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought.
That's cool.
This always happens. Oh, fuck, I had a really good question for you, too. Give me 1 second, sorry.
That's cool.
I'm obviously really, really good at this. Give me 1 second. Shit. Oh, my God. What was it? It was something specific about the album, too.
Have to do with a bit?
Oh, man. What was it? Something specific about the first time I heard the album. My brain's not working. But it was probably more about making friends over comedy, but we've already gone over that.
Comedy's kind of a weird thing to make friends over if you don't want to be a comedian.
Right. Yeah, I guess I can see that. It's different because I don't... normally the people I interview either want to be comedians or... Although I did interview Mo the other day from, the Nerd Thing. Yeah, him, you know him, obviously. But I interviewed him, and he's a guy who produces too, He does perform also, but he doesn't. He feels like he's more of a producer and putter together of comedy. And my brain doesn't necessarily work that way. I'm more of a writer. Is there something about the way your brain works that makes you adept at putting that together? Do you know? I mean, do you think about it that way or no?
Well, from a producer standpoint, yeah, because I have I'm not that good. I can come up with ideas on my own, but I never think they're good. I don't know if they're good. They're probably not good. But in college, especially, I remember, that's where I started really producing stuff because my friends and other people come to me with these ideas of shorts they wanted to make, and I would be like, they'd be explaining it to me, and I'd be like, oh, I know how to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I know all the different little things that we have to do to make that work.
Yeah.
And it's always, like, a lot of the times it's, like, mundane little details that no one's really going to think about.
Sure.
And
sure.
I would always just kind of, like, know how to do it. Mm-hmm. And I don't really know, like, where I picked that up, how I learned how to do it, but I just figured it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting because I meet people whose creativity sort of splays out in these different directions and I think that's what creativity is picking something up, not realizing where you picked it up or that you picked it up, but just being able to apply it without anybody really giving you any guidance. And it feels like,
And that's what I did, because there weren't any classes, especially at my school, for producing. Mm-hmm. We had, like, these weird, like, weekends. My school was great. I went to Cal State Monterey Bay.
Okay.
And it was, like, so great for me because it was small, and it was small class sizes. And they would just, like, give us a camera and be like, go make a movie, and then we'll talk about it. And
so cool.
Yeah, it was amazing. And I worked in the majors building, and so I had, like, access to everything.
Yeah.
Like, we had a live TV studio, we had
awesome.
every piece of equipment you could want.
Yeah.
And I could just make stuff.
Sure.
But, like, there wasn't any producing thing. So, like, what I did is I just took every single class.
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, if I want to be a producer, I have to know how everything works.
Yeah,
so I took editing, writing, directing. I didn't do acting because, no. But, screenwriting. Like, I took everything. Because I was like, well, I want to know how every little aspect of the industry, film and TV or whatever, works. And, and then, like, everybody would just come to me like, oh, can you help produce this? Can you put this together? Can you be the assistant director on this? Can you be the production manager on this? And I just, it was like trial and error. I just try stuff. If it worked, great. If it didn't, I tried it a different way.
That's awesome. How did you end up going from doing what seems like mostly like film and video stuff to specifically like podcast stuff? Did it just...
I fell into it.
Yeah.
When I was living in New York, I moved to New York after college because I really didn't want to move to LA.
Okay.
And my family's out in New York. Like, I went out there all the time.
Sure.
Like, I knew it. And I was like, I want to try New York.
Yeah.
And I moved out there, and I worked because for a while I wanted to be a talent manager.
Okay.
When I was in college, that's what I thought I wanted to do.
Okay.
And so I, like, worked as an assistant at a management firm for a while. And then I was like a PA, and I worked, I just talked about this on Nerdist, actually. I worked at like a post house.
Okay.
As not even like an assistant editor. I would just like log footage.
Okay.
And when I got hired, they're like, do you know Avid? And I was like, yeah. I had never used Avid. I had to teach it to myself in like a day. And so I had all these like random jobs, but then I just got sick of New York.
Okay. And
so I left because I missed California. And I moved here. And then I had an office job that I couldn't stand because I was sitting at a desk all day.
Yeah.
And when I had lived in New York, I started listening to podcasts because I was, on the subway and everything so much. And I started listening to Corolla and Ricky Gervais. Okay. And I started listening to a lot more stand-up albums, too.
Awesome.
Because I just, I needed to be entertained when I was walking and on the bus and on the subway. And so when I moved out here, I kept listening to them. And then I realized, there's like, in New York, I went to UCB a few times. I went to Eastville a few times. But I didn't really know anyone out there to go with. And so, like, I didn't get to go as much as I wish I had. But when I moved out here, I don't know, like, I met more people that were kind of into it. Like, some of my friends were like, oh, yeah, I'd be interested in doing that.
Sure.
I realized some of my friends listened to the same podcast as me.
Awesome.
And so, I, like, went to, like, a few of the Corolla ones. And I went to one. I went to the last for Bald Brian one when it was the benefit for his tumor. And I just started, like, we were leaving, and I went with my dad. Because my dad is, like, likes a lot of the same comedy I like now, even. Like, he's, like, super into Louis C.K. And,
awesome.
Patton
so cool.
and everyone. So he liked Corolla, and he came with me. And we were waiting online at the valet, and I started, like, talking to the dude that was next to us online, and he worked there. Okay. At Corolla. He was an intern, and we just became friends, and, like, we became friends on Facebook and whatnot. And then he emailed me just, like, weeks later and was like, hey, they want to hire someone. I know you have a job, but would you be interested? Because they want someone that knows their stuff, but they want a girl.
Okay.
And it has to be someone who can put up with Adam's shit.
Right.
You know? And I was like, oh, that's me.
Yeah.
And so I left a paid job for an unpaid position at Corolla. Because I asked my dad, I was like, what should I do? And he's like, you fucking take that.
Awesome.
Like,
Awesome.
I'm not going to let you end up on the street. You know? Like, if it doesn't fall through, like, you'll leave, you find another job, and I'll help you out if you need it.
Awesome.
So I left, and I started working for Corolla. And then, you know, thankfully I started getting paid in like 3 months or something.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I just kind of like, and when I was there, he was still doing the one-on-one style. Mm-hmm. And it was like me and Donnie and then Logan, his my friend Logan now. He was there. That's how we met. And that was it.
Wow.
It was like we would just do all the shows like just that. Just like usually it's just me and Logan.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Jesus.
And then it turned into the huge thing it is now.
Sure.
While I was there.
Okay. And then when did you start with the Nerdist?
It's been a year now.
A year? Okay.
Mm-hmm. It was like a year, end of June, early July.
Was it he just started feeling overloaded?
I had left Corolla because I wanted more responsibility. I wanted more to do. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't, I just wasn't going to get it there.
Yeah.
And I liked it, but I just, I wanted to grow.
Of course.
And so I left, and I wasn't doing anything. Mm-hmm. And I read, online that Chris was starting a network, and I'd met him.
Okay.
Because, it's a small world.
Sure.
And I had always, wanted to help him out because I was a big fan of the Nerdist, and I just never had time or anything, and I emailed him, and I was like, hey, I'm unemployed. Do you want help? And he was like, yeah.
Awesome.
And that was it. Like,
God, that's so cool, though.
Because I knew how to do it.
Sure.
Like, I knew how to run a network. I knew how to, engineer and produce.
It's good to have that kind of reputation, especially, though, and like I said, in the world of comedy, that is filled with people like me who are insecure and need people who just fucking know what they're doing and can just drop themselves right into a position and just do it.
No, like, people would come to me with ideas. Like, Pete was like, oh, I want to do a podcast. And he said his idea, and I was like, oh, yeah, that can work. Yeah. Like, I can make that work, and just, like, I knew how to do it. So, like, as I like to say, like, oh, all you have to do is show up and talk.
Yeah.
And I'll do the rest.
Right. I luck out in that my guests usually do all the talking. I can just let them talk about their influences. Your dad must be, like, ecstatic for you, because this is exciting to me, because I love when people's parents are, like, that supportive and love comedy as much.
Oh, yeah, he's super proud. Like, he's always, like, he doesn't want me to have some desk job. Sure. Like, he was always like, oh, this is what you're good at. Like, you should pursue this. Yeah. And I know, who knows, like, where everything's going to lead to. At the moment, I'm very happy. I don't want to leave at all. Right. But, and and it's growing so much. Yeah. I'm in such an interesting position in the podcasting world. Because, I've been in it for 3 years now, like 3.5 years, something like that. And, like, just the growth of that in the 3 years has been insane. Yeah. I mean, to the point, if something like a podcast, as seemingly small as a podcast, can get a TV show. You know what I mean? Can become a TV show. Yeah. I'm surprised we're not seeing more. I think we'll see a lot more in the next couple of years. Yeah, because more and more people are learning about it and figuring out what it is. And people are realizing, like, oh, this is an actual thing. And you can make money off this. Right. And this can be, this can really change people's careers. Yeah. And,
but it's not changing the content, right? Which is awesome. The content doesn't seem to be changing.
Yeah, because
Chris can swear up a storm.
Yeah, no one's there. You're your own boss.
Yeah,
it's awesome. It's just full creative freedom. Mm-hmm. Complete creative freedom. Like the Todd Glass show, like it's just bits the whole time. You know, it's like he can do whatever the fuck he wants. Yeah. So yeah, my dad, he's stoked. He's awesome. Very excited for me.
That's so cool.
You're washing your face with milk. Bringing cats in from all over the neighborhood. Hurry up and drink it! Come on, it's almost time! Get back over here, How do they know that is the definite exact day? They don't say like it's in the vicinity, give or take, roughly. They brand it right into the side of the cart, and they're like, that's your goddamn day right there. Oh, don't screw with us. We know what day is the final day. And then it is so over. You ever have milk the day after the day? Scares the hell out of you, doesn't it? The spoon is trembling as it comes out of the bowl. It's after the day! I'm taking a big chance! I smelled it. You smell it. What is it supposed to smell like? It smelled like milk to me. I don't know how they're so definite, though. Maybe the cows tip them off when they're milking them. July 3rd.
I mean, obviously you're doing what you're doing and you're loving it, doing a great job. Do you still do any film, video production or anything like that on the side? No?
No. I mean, I was always interested in it, but that wasn't really, I wasn't always like, if I go into that field, I would like to do TV rather than film. I've always liked TV more than movies.
Yeah.
Like, I like movies and all, but I was always a TV kid.
Yeah.
And I like even still, like, I like TV shows.
Yeah. It's probably better for a comedy nerd.
I watch those over movies.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I'm not, like, saying I'll never do that.
No,
but,
of course.
You know, at the moment, I'm not really into I'm not doing anything involved with that.
Yeah. What do you, let's see, do you know what was the first, let's see, Oh, okay. Let's actually talk about this because we were talking about the internet earlier. Do you know when the first time you the first time you like maybe downloaded a comedy album as opposed to just got it in store? Because like a lot of people now that I want to interview, they're like, I don't know, I've never even heard an album on cassette. It's all been downloaded. So like, you know, and I'm just curious about when people first downloaded an album. And was it different for you? Because it's different for me. I like having it accessible.
That's an interesting question. You know? The first time I, like, didn't buy the actual CD.
Mm-hmm. For me, I like having something physical, and I bet my audience is tired of listening to me talk and jabber on, but you can see from this pile of shit, I would love to have albums in my hand.
You know, oh, wow. I don't know. It probably... Yeah. I mean, what year would it have been?
Right. I mean, the internet, I mean, the first album
because I just started buying music and stuff, you know? Sure. I don't remember the first music album like I bought or downloaded. Mm-hmm. I mean, I remember using Napster back in the day.
Yep. No, me too.
Definitely. Oh, I used to use Napster and download Jerky Boys.
Really?
Stuff all the time. Oh, yeah. I had, like, all the Jerky Boy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I had... Oh, what else did I have? Oh, my God. There was, like, another thing that was like the Jerky Boys, but it wasn't Jerky Boys.
Okay.
What was it? And... Now I can't remember.
I mean, that's what I loved about Napster and all that stuff, is that I could get stuff there's no way I was going to find anywhere else. Because nobody was digitizing albums yet.
Yeah.
People at home were ripping their vinyl or their CDs for you because you couldn't buy them in your area. And especially if you lived where I lived, that's the only way you were going to get it.
I remember being in the dorms and they had like some sharing program. But it never worked properly. I don't know what it was. But I don't know what the first album I downloaded was. That's a good question. I'd have to like go and look at my computer.
Yeah. Do you miss it at all, having a physical album, or no? Does it matter to you?
Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
When I keep moving, so every time I move, I'm like, I'm really glad I don't have anything like that.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. It's fine on my computer, to be honest. Like, it doesn't really bother me, I don't think. I'll probably get backlash for saying that, but
no,
I move all the time, and I live in a studio apartment, so
right.
The less I have, the better.
Of course. No, and I think that's smarter, and that's the argument to be made for digital media,
but
obviously.
I do like seeing albums, like, you know, like I like that Jonah, like, put his album out on vinyl.
Yes.
I think that's really cool.
It's great, yeah.
And, you know, it's cool to, like, see a CD and, like, see the inserts and all that type of stuff. Like, just because it reminds me of, like, going to Amoeba and buying new albums and just being, like, so excited.
Yeah.
To listen to them and, like, have the CD. And, like, the CD gets worn out, and I'd have, like, the CD case in my car and everything.
Right.
My Discman would skip.
Yeah.
You know, I like that. Like, that I kind of miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's more the experience with it, really. I mean, it's not... I guess comedy, like, same with music, sort of depends on when you heard it when you listened to it, what it meant to you at the time, right? I mean, you know, what it helps get you through.
Yeah.
You know? And I just... Do you have any, like... I like that you say that your favorite bar none, music act is the Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
They've got a definite comedic element to them.
Oh, for sure.
You know?
That's why I loved them. They were doing their own thing. Mm-hmm. They were just like, hey, this is us. Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
We don't care if you don't like it. We're going to continue being us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I like. I like people that are just like, they're just themselves and they're not trying to be anything else in the world.
Right.
And like all their videos, like I have the anthology video, like, I mean, the Sabotage video in itself is like, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
You know, everything about them. Like, I've seen them live a bunch, or did see them live a bunch of times, and they were always hilarious. And,
that's so cool.
Yeah. They're great.
Are there any other, like, music acts that you can think of that you might like for the same reason? Or is that...
That just because that was them,
yeah,
and they haven't like really changed. Like, I don't know. I mean, the Beastie Boys did change, but they never sold out. You know, they never.
Yeah, in a way, yeah, you're right. I listened to Chris talking about them on one of the episodes, and he had a really good. He condensed what they were really well. That their first hit song was a novelty, but they still carried it through and just somehow managed to make really good music.
Well, yeah, I mean, I everything. Like, they're always different. Like, I love all their punk stuff because I used to be such a punk. And so I love their punk stuff, hip hop. Like, they molded my music taste because my dad liked them.
Awesome.
That's how I got into them.
Shit, that's so cool.
3 Jews from New York, he loved them. And so like I remember like listening to them growing up and just thinking it was the best. And I still like, I'm obsessed.
Do you ever think of any? I like listening to people talk about punk and comedy as far as they do seem to be similar aesthetics but different approaches, you know?
They are. It's this like kind of this like niche scene that is super do it yourself.
Yeah.
It's constantly just like trying new things, just having fun with it. Yeah, it's very similar. And I think that's why I like the scene so much, is because when I was in high school, I was like really into the punk scene.
Yeah.
Not like the hardcore, like, you know, I didn't have my hair. Like, I was a little skater punk. If anything. But I was like a skater surfer punk. That's, you know. And then so, but yeah, it is like this kind of just weird. I guess there's no other way to explain it. I'm trying to think how to word it, but it's just this weird, like, this do-it-yourself scene where everyone's just having fun with it and being themselves and just trying to entertain others. And there's some people that aren't going to like it, and there's some people that are.
Sure.
And they're going to keep doing it, though.
Yeah. It's unpretentious, I guess, in the most possible way.
Yeah.
I mean, and comedy can't really be good comedy if it's
pretentious.
It's
very humble. They're both very humble, I think.
Mm-hmm. And what is weird, though, I mean, is that, you know, punk, while it's sort of died out, I mean, it still has you still see it echoing. You know, you still see some music that's kind of punk. Comedy's just going to keep going, it feels.
Yeah, especially right now, because it's interesting right now how comedy is really blowing up at the moment because it's so accessible with podcasts and with, you know, comedy albums just being available everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they're easier to get, easier to download. Things like Spotify, like, I love that all the albums are on Spotify. It's because, like, there's a bunch of albums, like, you know, I don't have everything. Like, I was thinking, I was like, do I still have the you know, I'm telling you for the last time CD? And I probably have it at my mom's house.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's, like, where all my old CDs are. But I have it on my computer still, so I had ripped it. But I wonder, like, what else I have there that I haven't looked at in forever.
Right.
And it's kind of cool with Spotify. I can be like, oh, I forgot about that album. Like, and it'll most likely be on there. And I can go listen to it. So it's very accessible now. And there's kind of, I feel like it's, you know, almost in, like, a renaissance. Like, it's kind of... people, it's exploding at the moment, which is awesome. Yeah.
I like that they're being less precious about their comedy, though, too. They're not afraid to just, like, fuck it, I'm going to be funny for an hour. I don't have to do my bits, you know, but I don't have to also be afraid that I'm giving anything away for free. It's not a big deal to most of them, you know?
You mean, like, with podcasts?
Yeah, with podcasts, I feel like guys like Pete Holmes, they've got a set. They've all got a set that they work off of, and I feel like some people are sometimes afraid that they're going to give away too much by entertaining for an hour each week for free. But these guys don't seem to be afraid.
Well, they're also funny and creative that they're going to constantly come up with funny stuff. And the conversations are always different because everybody, you know, has different perspectives on life. And it's awesome.
It's so good, and I just love that you're, you know, helping bring this shit to the forefront. You know,
it's really cool. It's an interesting place to be.
Yeah,
especially yes. I don't know. It's fun. I'm trying to think. I wrote some things down about Seinfeld. Oh, my grandma once, I remember I was talking to her about Seinfeld, and I was like, oh, do you like Seinfeld? Mm-hmm. And she's like, yeah, but he's a little too Jewish for me. Which I thought was the best thing that my grandma, who was like 90 at the time, ever said. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh my God.
Because we're Jews. So I was like, all right.
That's pretty funny.
My dad and I always talk about, I bring up Seinfeld references, like, in everyday conversation. Yeah. And, we always talk about that episode where Bryan Cranston, the dentist,
yes. Oh, God.
became Jewish for the jokes.
Just so he could make
how that is probably one of the greatest episodes of any TV show ever created.
Yes, agreed.
And, because, you know, we're not religious, so we would always joke that we're Jewish for the jokes. We're Jewish so we can make fun of ourselves and go eat bagels, you know, and that type of shit. But, yeah, my grandma saying that. I, couldn't believe she said that.
Hilarious.
It was so great, because she also once called a girl Jappy, and I thought that was amazing. Jewish American princess, for the people that don't know.
Yes.
But I thought, she's like 90. She's a Holocaust survivor. It was like, what the fuck is going on?
Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's so funny to me.
When you sit there, you pretend you're reading your little magazine, you're actually looking at the other people. I wonder what he's got. That guy's a goner. Then they call. You get very excited when they call you, because you think now you're going to see the doctor. But you're not. Now you're going into the next smaller waiting room. Now you don't even have your magazine. Now you got your pants around your ankles. You're sitting on that butcher paper they pull out over the table. Sometimes I bring a pickle with me and I put it next to me right there on the table. I don't know. In case the doctor wants to fold the whole thing up for a to-go order. Get your pants off and get in there and I will tell you what I think. Doctors always want your pants off. Take your pants off. Doctor would like to see you with no pants. Just get them off. It's my head. I said take your pants off. But I hate the extra weight, so maybe I'll start screwing around with some of his stuff, you know? Maybe I'll turn that thing up a little bit. Whatever the hell that does. Take all the tongue depressors out, lick them all, put them all back in. Yeah, two can play at this waiting game. Just once I'd like to say to the doctor, you know what? I'm not ready for you yet. Why don't you go back in your little office? I'll be in a minute. And get your pants off. Then we'll see what's what. Why does the doctor need that little office for, anyway? You know, his books, little stupid aquarium. I guess he doesn't want people to see him looking stuff up. What the hell was that? Jesus Christ. That was kind of gross. That wasn't the tube or the circle.
But yeah, it's just like weird little things will always remind me of that Seinfeld album. Every time I go in a bathroom on a plane, I'm like, I do look good in this mirror. Oh, he's right. And then I always like the razor blade. How he's like, there's the slot for the used razor blade.
Yes.
Because we would always fly out of Oakland when I was little because it was easier to get to, and there was always. And I've seen it a few other places, but it was always in the Oakland airport bathroom. There was used needle deposit.
Oh my God.
Things, yeah. And I'd always be like, what? Who is using who's using needles in here? And it always reminded me of that because I think there was a razor blade and the women's too. I was like, what is going on here?
Holy crap! I've never seen that before in my life.
Yeah, it was in they're still there because I fly in the Oakland still. It's always there, and it's
hilarious.
What's going on? But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think what else I wrote down about the album.
That's so funny, though. You know, it's I love that your grandmother called it too Jewish. Too Jewish.
But she's like, yeah, I like them, but he could be a little too Jewish for me.
That's so as a kid, I really wanted to be Jewish. I didn't want to be religious, but I wanted to be Jewish. Once I found that every comedian I knew was Jewish, I'm like, holy shit, there must be some key there that I don't understand. You know what I mean? As a little kid, I'm like, that's how my brain worked.
I don't know what it is about the Jews, but that's like what I said about like Beastie Boys, 3 Jews from New York. You know, and my dad's like, I like these guys. We can relate to these guys.
That's so funny.
Or like even just recently, I was at a supermarket and this old woman in front of me was paying with a check. And I just, like, looked at her, and I was like, are you serious right now? And it took, like, 5 minutes. And I just, like, there's, like, so many little things in life that will remind me of, like, Seinfeld bits. And it's awesome.
That's why it's going to continue to ring true, I think, for a lot of people anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like, you know, I re-listened to it. Before this. I re-listened to it twice. And, like, so much of it holds up.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Like, it's not dated at all. Like, even the beginning with the phone bit, like, that still holds up. Because, like... That holds up kind of reminds me of how nobody will, like, you know, you call someone and then they text you back and you're like, oh, come on, really? Like, you know, it's like, hey, you would call people to get their machine and then you're like, oh, you picked up. Now what? It reminds me of that. But I really like, one thing I really like on that album is in the Q&A part at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Someone asked him, like, what do you want to do? He's like, oh, I want to surf, because I surf. And I liked what he said about how he was like, I just like the idea of surfing because it seems like the ocean's just trying to get you out of it. And you were like, no, I'm going to go in. I like that. That's an interesting perspective on surfing.
That's true.
How, like, you're riding waves and it's trying to push you out and then you paddle back in. And the ocean's probably like, what the fuck are you doing? I told you to get out of here. But I like that perspective on it.
That's so funny. If somebody's gonna ask you, you know, what's your favorite album, you're gonna say this album, let's say. Why would you recommend somebody who hasn't heard it listen to it? Like, what's important about this album to you?
It's just a unique look on life. Like it's kind of like what I think I said it earlier. Like, it's like all these little daily things that we all go through, but it's like this funny observation on them. Yeah. So it's things that everybody can relate to it.
Sure.
Like my 93-year-old grandma can relate to it. You know, she goes to the grocery store.
Sure.
She's probably like, what is mesquite? What is that? You know, like everyone can relate to this. So I think it's just funny. Yeah. And for the most part, it's fairly clean.
Yeah, it is.
And I like comedy I'm always impressed with comedy that's clean. I'm always like, oh, that's interesting. You know?
I think the worst he says is goddamn a few times. You know? That's the strongest he gets.
Like, I'm always, like, super impressed by that.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the first time I saw Larry Miller.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, my dad and I love Larry Miller. I used to work with him at Corolla, which was, like,
awesome.
Just
That's
amazing.
So cool.
My dad met him, actually, at the last for Ball O'Brien, and he just talked to him about the episode of Law & Order he was on. Because he was on this episode of Law & Order back in the day, and he played the insanely evil character.
Okay.
Just ridiculously evil and so good. But yeah, his he's clean.
Yeah.
And I just think it's really...
It takes a lot.
Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I don't do stand-up.
Right.
So I'm always cautious to talk about because I'm like, I don't do it myself.
Right.
I don't know.
But it feels like it takes a little more art to do it that way.
Yeah.
Because swearing can be easy.
It's just something like, you could play this for a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And they would... Like, I feel like if you played Seinfeld's album for the 9-year-old, he would relate to it.
Yeah,
he'd be
absolutely.
Like, "Oh, you're right. I do love candy, and my Halloween costume never stays on."
Yeah, you're right.
You would totally get it.
It kind of does span the ages. And another thing about this album definitely is that it's a guy at the top of his game. I mean, it's him retiring all of his old stuff, so he doesn't have to use it again.
But he was so influential, on so much of comedy.
Have you ever seen him live?
No, I have not, and I want to so bad. And Larry Miller opened for him a few years ago in Vegas, and I was almost going to be like, "Can you get me in? Can I go?"
You're right.
How do I do this?
Yeah.
But have you?
No, I haven't.
I want to so bad.
I bet.
That would be the best.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I would just, I think it's a good album for people. Like, I always think what I think makes it when I know I really like a comedy album.
Yeah.
I think I was. When I know I really like a comedy album is when I'm working out, I have my iPod just on shuffle.
Yeah.
And when tracks from an album come on that I really like, I won't skip it.
Yeah.
And that's how I know that I'm like, oh, I really like this, because there'll be bits that I've heard so many times before, and I'll just listen through it. There's a lot of good albums of people that I know and I'm friends with and I work with that are You know, like, I would consider, like, some of my favorite, like, that are just so good, like Kyle Kinane's, Anthony Jeselnik, like Pete Holmes, like John Mulaney, like, they're all so good. And a lot of those albums, when they come on, I won't skip over it. I'll sit there and listen to it.
Yeah.
And Seinfeld is one of those for sure. If one of the tracks comes on, because it's just usually, like, right in the middle. Sometimes you're like, you know, I won't hear the setup, but I'll know what's going on because I've heard it so many times.
Yeah.
But I'll just listen to it.
Yeah, I feel like that's the kind of stuff that's going to stick with you, at least in your brain. It's like another piece of a song. It's if you kind of came in the middle of it. Good. Like, Queen's my favorite band. So if you're going to come in the middle of Bohemian Rhapsody, it'd be fine, because you still know what just came.
Yeah, if I come in the middle of any Beastie Boys song, I can continue singing the rest. I'll know exactly what's going on.
Right. It's just that good.
Yeah.
And there's just that much spirit of life in it, like, you know, and that's cool. BC Boys that's a good choice. Well, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for asking me.
This was awesome. I really appreciate it. So, do you have anything you want to plug?
Just listen to the Nerdist podcast, guys. And then I have a podcast called Save It for Air.
Awesome.
Our website just got bought out by some Japanese website stuff. Yeah,
okay.
We don't know what happened. We're figuring it out. So you can just look it up on iTunes.
Okay.
Until we buy a new website.
Save it for air.
Yeah.
All right.
It happened last week, and all of a sudden it's just like someone translated it as like for depression. And we're like, oh, that's sad and weird.
Yeah, that is really
what's going on.
I don't understand.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It's messed up.
But I do that with my friend Logan, and then Twitter KT_money.
Awesome.
That's it, yeah.
Sweet. Well, everybody, thank you for listening. Again, thank you to Katie. And this was awesome. And everybody, have a good thing. Comedy on Vinyl is recorded at Fort Awesome Studios in beautiful downtown Burbank, California. Our producer is Mike Warden, our host is Jason Klom, and he's also the editor. Comedy on Vinyl is a Stolen Dress entertainment production. You can check out all of our other podcasts, books, videos, other audio stuff, probably some writing, at stolendress.com. And please check out Comedy on Vinyl at facebook.com/Comedy on Vinyl, twitter.com/Comedy on Vinyl, and please subscribe to us on iTunes, rate us highly, and spread the word. Thank you so much for listening to Comedy on Vinyl this week, and have a very good thing.
It's a little bit of air each side. It's a little bit of air each side. It's a bit of air each side. Oh, it's not jokers that tickle all the girls. It's a little bit of